Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Phantom Knights Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for April 2025. Wanted to update the Phantom Knights, going for more of a pure Phantom Knight build with this deck, and also changing around some of the things from the deck since the April 2025 ban list, being able to add more of the Danger Engine to the deck, focusing that as a better level 3 option than some of the other cards I ran previously, like the Psychic Engine or the Kagamusha Knight lineup, just liking the Danger Engine more for the potential graveyard setup it could do with our Phantom Knight monsters. I've had a previous Horus, Brave package edition for the Phantom Knights in an earlier video, but wanted to focus on more of a pure variant to run in this version of the deck. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the Phantom Knight monsters. For our Phantom Knight lineup in the main deck, we're running 3 copies of Phantom Knight of Torn Scales. You can discard 1 card to send a Phantom Knight's card from your deck to the graveyard, except for Torn Scales. If another Phantom Knight is in your graveyard is banished while this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Torn Scales once per turn. Being able to discard a card gives you options for setting up other Phantom Knight cards in your graveyard, then being able to make use of their own banish effects, and if Torn Scales is in the graveyard, having another special summon, which you can avoid the banish of for this card by overlaying it into an Xyz monster, because then it'll just detach as a material and not as a monster. We're also running 3 copies of Phantom Knights of Silent Boots for the easy special summon power if you control a Phantom Knights monster with this card, and then also being able to banish it from the graveyard to add a Phantom Knight spell or trap from your deck to your hands, being able to grab some of the better Phantom Knight cards, whether it be our rank up spell or even cards like our Phantom Knight's Fogblade to our hand off of a monster resource that we have already used in the graveyard as well. Makes it a definite 3 of, so we always have that special summon resource, because then you can just go off of the normal summon of Torn Scales, summon out your boots, and then overlay into your monster right then and there. Another 3 of that we run include the 3 Ancient Cloak. I normally ran 2 of this card, but I wanted to go to 3 just for the pure variant, having the option to boost the attack of another monster on the field, but the big play being able to banish this card to add the Phantom Knight's card from your deck to your hand. So you can add your main deck monsters, or you could even go for some of the traps that have the Phantom Knights in their name for the added search off of this card also, knowing when to search specifically for some of the spell traps with Silent Boots, and then grabbing the other ones with Ancient Cloak. And then also 1 copy of Ragged Gloves and 1 copy of Stained Greaves for the send in setup and attack boost with Ragged Gloves, and then the added special summon option, being able to special summon our Stained Greaves from our hand if a Phantom Knight monster is special summoned to your field, except during the damage step. So just extending more of those plays off of Silent Boots, and then being able to use Stained Greaves to do so as well, and then have level increased power as well by being able to banish this card from the graveyard. Now, another engine I always like to run in the Phantom Knight build is the small Tour Guide Burning Abyss engine, having just more level 3 monsters to go off of, and then being able to also make use of the send and setup of some of our Link monsters in the extract, like Cherubuni, to be able to send our Burning Abyss cards, or even set up Dante for these overlay plays to mill more monsters to the graveyard off of Dante's cost also. Now, as I said before, off of the ban list is the Danger Engine of Jackalope and Tsuchinoko. Being level 3 monsters, they just help with the overall consistency of the deck, being able to have special summon power off of Jackalope of another Danger monster, Tsuchinoko just being able to special summon itself, and then the other big play being your opponent has to randomly discard cards in your hand, so if they discard some of the Phantom Knight engine, that could just be more cards in the graveyard for you to work off the banish. What's also good is the fact that, obviously, cards like Dimension Shifter, now at 1, making the graveyard a little more viable for the deck overall. And then the rest of the main deck monsters just being the hand trap lineup of 3 Fuelos and 3 Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, just for more draw power with Fuelos if our opponent goes first, and then being able to stop our send and search setup with Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. For the spells, I run 1 Phantom Knight Rank Up Magic Force and the 1 Rank Up Magic Launch, having rank up options to go into just rank 4 monsters with Rank Up Magic Launch, depending on what we want to go into, and then the added banish power of the Rank Up Magic Force to go into even higher level monsters, but we have our bigger boss monsters in the form of Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon and Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon to use as well with both of these cards. Some of the more generic spell lineup include the 1 Foolish Burial, the 1 Monster Reborn, the 1 Call by the Grave, and then the 1 Reinforcements of the Army to finish off all the spells, having the Monster Search, Special Summon setup, and then just stopping our opponent's own hand traps with the rest of our spells also. For the traps, we're running 3 copies of Fogblade, having the option to target a face-up effect monster on the field, negate that face-up monster's effects, and that face-up monster cannot attack. And also, that monster cannot target that face-up monster before it attacks as well. So added protection if you target your own cards, but still, the main play is to stop your opponent's card effects with a trap that is searchable off of our Phantom Knight monsters, and then being able to banish this card from our graveyard to target a Phantom Knight's monster in our graveyard and special summon it. So this being a trap, we can also activate this on our opponent's turn to stop any other plays that they may want to go for, or just, like I said, an added Phantom Knight wall against them, or even being able to summon our Xyz monsters and then use our own rank up spells on our opponent's turn with those cards as well. With the last of the traps being the 1 copy of Phantom Knight Wings, the 1 Phantom Knight Mistclaw, and the 1 Shade Brigandine, having the added special summon power of Shade Brigandine early game, the boosted attack power with Wings, and then the added banish recycle of Mistclaws. For the extra deck, we're running 2 copies of Phantom Knights of Breaksword, being able to detach an Xyz material from this card, target 1 card you control, and 1 card your opponent controls, destroy them. And if this Xyz card is destroyed, targeting 2 Phantom Knights in with the same level in your graveyard, and special summon them and increase their levels by 1. So you can target Breaksword with its own card effect, then target the 2 Phantom Knight cards that we used to make it to summon back into the field to give us more or less a play into our level 4 Xyz plays. So being able to summon out cards like Dark Rebellion to then be able to go into our additional Rebellion Xyz Dragon rank up plays also. I'm also running the 1 copy of Dante and the 1 Ghost Trick Alucard for the added rank 3 Xyz plays that we can go into as well. Spell and Trap Destruction, and then more graveyard setup with Dante as well, with our Dark Rebellion Xyz monsters being 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, the 1 Arc Rebellion Xyz Dragon, and the 1 Dark Requiem, having the attack boost with Arc Rebellion and Dark Rebellion, and then the monster effect negation and reducing the attack to 0 of our opponent's monsters with Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon. Other rank up plays I like to use in the deck include Evil Swarm Ophion, just more of a limit for our opponent's level 5 or higher special summons because we can use our rank up magic launch to overlay into this monster using our Breaksword on the field. The 1 Utopic Future and the 1 Draco Future for more of the overlay power with our Xyz monsters with the same rank. And then the 1 Zeus to finish off our Xyz monster lineup, with our Link monsters being the 1 copy of Rusty Bardish, the 1 Cherubini, the 1 SP Little Knight, and then the 1 Nightmare Unicorn to finish off the rest of the Link monster lineup to go into as well, whether it be Banish Power, Shuffle Power, Graveyard Setup, and then just the overall search and destruction of Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardish also. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, as I mentioned before, the Phantom Knight setup is probably one of the best lineups we can go for in this deck, having more of a sender setup with our Torn Scales for our card as well, to send a Phantom Knight card. So just by discarding 1 from our hand, we can send a Phantom Knight card from our deck to the graveyard. So with this, we can send our Ancient Cloak using the Banish of Ancient Cloak to add a Silent Boots from our deck to our hand, special summoning out the Silent Boots, overlaying the 2 together. Now, depending on what you want to go for with this one play here, if your opponent has a card, you can go for your Breaksword, detaching 1 off of it, targeting the Breaksword and your opponent's card, destroying them both. Breaksword will then activate, summoning out both of your monsters again. If you went for one of your opponent's other destruction cards, and then you have, let's say, the added level 4 monsters on the field, you can overlay the 2 together to then go into your Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, detaching both to have the attack gain of your Dark Rebellion. Then you can banish the Silent Boots in your graveyard as well. And then with this card being in your graveyard, you could summon back the Torn Scales to the field as an additional play of searching off of the Silent Boots, grabbing your rank up spell, then being able to use the rank up magic launch to overlay your Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon into the preferred overlay power that you want to go for with these cards also. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Just a quick update to a deck that I am very fond of. I love all of the Arc 5 Dimension decks that Yugioh and his counterparts ran, so always like to keep them up to date as best as I can as well. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.